Hello everyone, we're Team F from Tech Secure Solutions. My name is Danwei, and today I will be presenting with my teammates whom are namely Xinyi, Jiayan, and Chenghao. So today we'll be presenting our advisory report on Google's acquisition of Mandiant. Our purpose is to actually provide an independent evaluation of the deal, focusing on cybersecurity, internal controls, and ICT governance, and to also highlight both the opportunities and challenges this case presents for businesses in today's digital environment. For a brief case overview, so in March 2022, Google announced a $5.4 billion all-cash deal to acquire Mandiant for $23 per share. The goal was to strengthen Google's cloud cybersecurity and also to compete more effectively with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft. A deal actually faced legal challenges. So in April 2022, a shareholder lawsuit claimed that Mandiant's SEC disclosures were actually misleading, as certain financial forecasts were not shared publicly. While this raised government concerns, the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, actually approved this acquisition in April, and the deal was finalized in later on that year. And for our analysis, we actually applied the stakeholder framework to evaluate both the short and long-term impacts. Most importantly, this case actually shows that cybersecurity is no longer just an IT issue, but more for a critical business priority. Now I will pass the time over to Xinyi while she discuss about the impact of the lawsuit. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia, for introducing the case. Now I will discuss the short-term and long-term impact of the lawsuit on each stakeholder group. And this included Mandiant shareholders, Mandiant management, Google leadership, and regulator. Okay, first, Mandiant shareholders. In the short term, shareholders face volatility in the stock price and a loss of confidence. Some may even sell their share quickly, creating further instability. And in the long term, recovery depends on whether Mandiant restore good governance and transparency, while some investors may return, others may permanently exit, weakening future market strength. And the next one is Mandiant Management and Board. For Mandiant Management and Board, the immediate impact is reputational damage. Regulator and the media will place them under heavy scrutiny, and some leader may resign. And looking ahead, they face possible legal penalty, stricter compliance rules, or even leadership change. Their credibility in corporate governance may be damaged for years. And the next one, Google leadership. In the short term, Google risks delay in expanding its cloud security business. This gives competitors like Amazon and Microsoft an advantage, and it may weaken customer trust. And in the long term, if the lawsuit dispute integration, Google could lose ground in the cybersecurity market. However, if it resolves the case well, it may strengthen its reputation as a resilient and compliant company. And the last one, regulator. And for regulators such as SEC and the Department of Justice, the short-term challenges is managing the investigation workload and facing public pressure to enforce security law. And in the long term, their action will likely set stronger precedent for corporate disclosure and accountability. And this could enhance investor protection, but too much regulation might also show the innovation in the industry. Okay, and the next presenter is Jiayan, and she will present about the communication strategy.
Thank you, Xinyi, for a detailed analysis of previous section. Now I will continue with third part of our presentation, which focuses on communication strategies for Google and Mandiant during the lawsuit. In times of crisis, communication is not only about sharing facts, it is about protecting trust. Our main goal is to reassure shareholders, customers, employees, and partners that the company is stable and responsible. First, regular statements are essential. The companies should release official updates to explain progress and next steps. Speaking early helps control the story and reduces speculation. Second, communication must be tailored to stakeholders group. For investors, focus on financial stability and long-term plans. For customers, stress service continuity and data security. For employees, provide briefings, emails, and Q&A sessions to build morale and prevent rumors. Third, transparency and frequency and channel must be carefully managed. Share key facts about service reliability and compliance, but avoid unrealistic promises. Updates should come at legal milestones, but also on a regular monthly or quarterly basis, so there are no longer silences. Finally, use multiple channels. Externally, rely on website, press releases, LinkedIn, Twitter, and investor briefings. Internally, use newsletters, meetings, and Q&A platforms. For customers and partners, data toolings or online briefings to answer concerns directly. In short, by combining proactive updates, tailored communication, transparent reporting, and multi-channel engagement, Google and Mandate can demonstrate accountability, protect stakeholder trust, and safeguard their long-term competitiveness. This concludes my section, and now I'd like to hand it over to Chenghao, who will provide conclusion.
Okay, thank you, Jiayan. In conclusion, Google's acquisition of Mediant highlights that cybersecurity has become a strategic priority rather than a purely technical function. The deal has the potential to enhance Google Cloud's competitive advantage by leveraging Mediant's world-class expertise in threat intelligence and incident response. However, it also brings challenges such as regulatory scrutiny, integration difficulties, and stakeholder concerns. The success of this acquisition will depend on how well Global balances three things: legal compliance, business objectives, and ethical responsibilities. Based on this analysis, we recommend the actions across the short, medium, and long term. In the short term, Google should focus on strict legal compliance and transparent communication. This includes resolving the shareholders' lawsuit, addressing regulatory scrutiny, and providing clear updates to investors, employees, and the customers. In the medium term, the priority is business integration. Google must embed Mediant's threat intelligence into Google Cloud Service, while also building an ethical responsibility framework to protect stakeholder trust. This integration provides a valuable example for teach-skill solutions in strengthening competitiveness through partnerships. In the long term, Google should invest in AI-driven security innovation and develop global compliance systems. Equally important, it should enhance social trust by supporting high-risk groups, such as small business and critical infrastructures, in improving their cybersecurity resilience. Okay, now this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.